facing the American people. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome back. Bond Factor, we're live.
But let
We've
me
been live.
state this as clearly as I can.
Let's listen to
These
this.
attacks are orchestrated by the Clintons and their media allies. The only thing Hillary Clinton has going for herself is the press. Without the press, she is absolutely zero. And you saw that the other night in the debate, where some people said she made virtually a fool of herself. This is not presidential material, believe me. What they say is false and slanderous in virtually every respect. We are now less than a month from the most important election of our lifetime. Indeed, one of the most important
Don't take
elections
that picture
in
the wrong
history
way.
of our country. And the polls are showing us in a dead heat.
You want to see
Don't
something you
what
can't believe?
said. The new, highly respected Rasmussen poll just came out this morning. It's just released. Shows up nationally 2 points ahead, Trump. You. Just came out. So now, the Clinton machine has put forward a small handful of people out of tens of thousands of people over the years that I've met, that I've worked with, that I've employed, in order to make wild and false allegations that fail to meet even the most basic test of common sense. Not even common sense. Again, this is nothing more than an attempt to destroy our movement and for the Clintons to keep their corrupt control over our government.
You know, as it comes out tonight, as we, you know, I think as Americans, we have to look back and remember a time when the government was ever supposed to be so much in our own lives. In other words, when was the last time you remember that on a daily basis you're fed with 10 plus breaking news stories a day and so much stuff that it's almost hard for me to keep track of trying to get the message across of what I see happening. So what I'm forced to do is sort of try to make everybody aware of the war that Trump is in. He's in a huge battle. He's battling everybody from the north to the south. And they're throwing things at him that don't compare. I think it's arguable that about 8 or so years ago, when Obama got elected, you know, and then got elected second term 4 years ago, they believed it was a slam dunk. They had so much control of the media back then that they just believed that, you know what, it's a done deal. It doesn't matter what happens, we're going to win. There's no way around it. Then what happened was there was a Trump factor that happened, and you have to look at where did Trump come from? You know, is he just some sort of crazy phenomenon that nobody, you know, anticipated or can understand? No, he comes from a direct desire of the people, the everyday people like you and me and everybody who's out there, to win. Again, I know that's sort of a slogan that he uses, but that's really what we all have a hunger for, right? We realize that almost since Vietnam and since, you know, Kennedy got shot and all this stupid shit happened, and then 9/11, you know, America's just, we're getting our ass kicked. Why would we want to let that continue? And I think that's really where this thing comes from. I mean, we have to be real about what's happening. And I think because Clinton believed that they would get elected almost regardless, they thought they had like a decade, like 10, 15 years of dominance. and they could enforce this new world order. But instead, what's happening is the people aren't really quite ready to ingest that here in America, because despite what happened in the Middle East and despite what's happened in Europe and even the most recent things going on where other countries have sort of already been infiltrated, they're trying to put that formula into America, but we have some fundamental things here that are different, that don't exist anywhere else. First, Second Amendments, freedom of speech, freedom to bear arms, freedom to be out there and make a difference, government for the people. That was the whole reason why the people, whenever that happened, you can say Columbus or whatever, I don't want to get into that, but that's why we came out here. And I don't even think it's important to think about all the details about why we came here. The main reason is we came out here to make the idea of freedom. And that was corrupt through slavery and other things, just as it always happens. There's always corruption, folks. It never doesn't exist. As much as I would love to look back at American history and say, oh, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen, it isn't. But I do think that about every 100 years or so, revolution is imminent. And right now, the corruption is woven into the quilt of America. It's coming out. It's something that we have to deal with right now as a people. And we're either going to sort of tuck in or we're not. And, Bernie Sanders is a great example of the younger people in the world frustrated just as much as me at 45 years old. I'm 39. It feels the same way. We all feel the same way. So we're frustrated across the board. We're just unable to maybe always identify what it is or why it is we're frustrated. That's why it's so important right now to weed through the information, weed through the shit. What a week as we started the broadcast tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to go ahead and mention before we go real quick, we're going to be joining you next week for the final debate of the three. We're going to carry it live the best we can. I'm going to commentate on it and do what I can. I always want to encourage people to listen to the debate unfiltered, so we'll try and do that here. But I also feel like it's my job to help people know that it's not as simple as everybody thinks. I always want to also promote the Burn and Turn page that we got going, where we've put up all our old Playtime Theater stuff, which was put up in the hope that people can appreciate the time when people used to sit around the radio and and kind of but whatever, it's bad. So if you want to see that, you almost have to look for it, because I'm not even sure. But anyway, it's something we did. Burn and Turn, as we continue to try and grow here. Cruise Radio, Bond Factor. Hope you enjoyed yourself tonight. Hopefully you take this time to get informed on your own. And we'll be back for final thoughts on our live feed, which we certainly appreciate. People that come and join us on our live feed. It takes an extra step and hanging with us as we sort of try and figure out what we're doing. But let's not be paranoid. Let's be real. We'll be back for final thoughts. If you're with us on YouTube, like us, share us, make us feel good. We'll be back. And, whatever you do, don't be paranoid.